Today we are looking at the GXDE Linux. So here is the boot menu. So GXDE means Gorgeous Extended Deepin Environment. So that's the full form of GXDE. So let me quickly boot it in the live boot. So this is the new Linux distribution in my channel. I never made a video on this distribution. And also it's from the China. So it's a Chinese Linux distribution. So if you're thinking of installation or doing any type of things, then it's better to do all the research because it's not a well-known distribution. And you should be seeing like a kinda like a Deepin Linux desktop environment also. So here you should be seeing the Debian kinda logo. So I'm going to show you what it's based on and every information like a audio and other things like a graphics, new features, whatever it is. And also I'm going to show you the downloading process and everything. So let's wait until the booting process is completed. As soon as the desktop layout is loaded, we can going to continue with everything. So there is already the Linux kernel provided in the boot menu itself. So the default language, you don't get any English language or anything like that. You should be getting like a Chinese language. But if you want to try it, you can try it in the virtual machines like a VMware or VirtualBox. And if you want to install, you can install it on the virtual machines. Don't try to install it on PC or work PC because it's not a well-known distribution, and also it's the Chinese Linux distribution. So if you have like some privacy things and also some privacy issues or some kind of things, it's better to always go with the virtual machines first. And if you're satisfied, then do all the research, and if you're satisfied, then go with the installation. Or else it's better to skip this type of distributions and go with the well-known distributions. If you're a normal user, then I'm going to say it's better to go with well-known distributions. But if you're a Linux tester or a distropper, you can try this distribution because you already know where you want to try it. You always try it in the virtual machines and like kind of test type. So here you should be seeing some random language. I don't know what it is, but I'm going with this option. I think it's like a effect or something like that, like a smooth transitions or like a effect fashion mode. The same thing which you see in the Deepin Linux distro. So sorry, I'm a bit of tired, so that's the reason my voice is completely not properly saying any words. So I'm going to choose this option. So it's going to take like a few more seconds and we should be getting the desktop layout. And also I'll be posting daily, so if you want to subscribe, you can subscribe. And also from past 2 days there was no topic in the Linux market, so that's the reason I didn't make any videos. So this is how the desktop looks. So some of the things will be in English language, but most of the things will be in the Chinese because it's a Chinese Linux distribution. About the Calamares installer, you should be saying 3.3.8, and the desktop environment or the version, it is called like a GXDE OS 15, and the code name is Big C. I don't know what it is, but it's okay. We're going to continue the video. So you can install whatever language you want here, and I already mentioned and I'm going to mention it again. Don't go with the installation in the main PC or work PC. Always try it in the virtual machines. If you're a normal user, it's better to stay away from this type of distributions because it's not a well-known distribution. And this is how you can install because it's a clearly an Calamares installer. So you can choose the language. Let's first go with all the installations things, and I'm going to continue with the different things. So there is also application here for the installation. So I'm running it on the VMware. So with the 60 GB of virtual disk, 8 GB of RAM, and my CPU is i5 1240p. So it automatically changes the display settings in the VMware, but in the VirtualBox you need to change your display settings on your own. So click on next. Same thing, the location, I'm using a VPN, so there will be some random locations every time. And here you can choose the drop down menu, or you can choose the map for the language and the location. And here you can see, click on next. Keyboard, it automatically chooses your keyboard. Click on next. Partitions, so these are all the same thing. So there is nothing like a online installation or anything, just the casual Calamares installer. So you don't get any desktop environments or anything because the name itself is called as like a Deepin desktop environment. And I'm going to close the installation because it's a Calamares installer. You already know how to go and check all those things. And about the other things here, you should be seeing the date and time. So I don't know, I think I clicked on exit instead of about. So you just need to go with the about. I don't know where it is. So here is the version. So let me close everything. About the pre-installed applications, you get a bunch of applications. There is like a few applications added here, and as you can see, you can customize some of the options. Basically it's like a Deepin, so you should be getting same things. And about the system monitor, let's see the system consumption, like a RAM and also CPU. So here are all the information. So I think these are all the process and all the other things. Let me scroll it down. So everything in most of the things is like in a Chinese language. So in the live boot you don't get any options of English language, but if you want to change, you can change by installing, I guess. So about the CPU, here is how the CPU is performing. So just watch the numbers, utilization and everything. And here is the RAM. It's consuming like a 1.4 GB, and the user experience is kind of like a laggy. It's not like a smooth experience, and also it's not like a major lag. It's like a minor lags here and there, which you usually see in the Deepin desktop or the Deepin Linux distribution, because Deepin Linux distribution need a lot of resources. So it's better to go with the just type in like a Google and type in like a system requirements of a Deepin, and that's the same resources you need here also. So I have like a 7.7 GB available RAM, but it's consuming 1.4 GB, and I don't know how it performs when you install it. It should be same like a Deepin Linux distro. So these are all the resources, networks and everything, and here you should be seeing all the information. And about the application, here you can get all the about the application. So when you don't know the language, there will be problem like this. So we need to randomly click on something, hope it opens the about section of the application. So that's the same thing I'm doing right now. So the version you get is a 6.0.8. So before that, let's get the system information. So let's find there is like a settings option. It's going to pop up like on the right side. Let me show you that. When you click on settings, so this is how it pop-ups. So the user, some display settings, I think personalization, volume, like a network connection, and like a power manager. So I kept everything as a default. So this is all the information you get about the distribution. So GXDE, the code name should be like a big C, and the version or the Linux distro is called like a GXDE 15.14.1. And here is my CPU, it's a 64-bit, available RAM is 7.7, the kernel version is 6.10, and window protocol is like a X11. I don't know what it is, maybe some updates or something like that. So I think like a copyright, it's not like a privacy things or something like that. And here is some other things. So when you don't know the language, these are all the things you need to face. So it's better to install if you want to try it, and I already said like 2-3 times try it in the virtual machines. So this is the desktop or the website. So here you can see all the website information. So you need to translate all those things in order to read everything. So it accidentally opened the website, so I'm going to continue with the website itself. So let's try to change the language. Here is the language change. And I already mentioned like what is a GXDE. It says like a gorgeous extended Deepin Environment. So it's pretty weird name, but it's okay. We can just call it like a GXDE OS. And about the design, it says like a classic design, brand new kernel, wonderful applications, more architectures. So now I'm going to do is like I'm going to open every important websites, and I'm going to continue from there. So let me open every important tab right now. So here you can see I opened like every important tab. So when we go to the about support, the version it says like a 131. So you get the latest browser version. It's not the latest, but you still get the latest version. The latest stable version right now is like a 132.0.1 or something like that. And the distribution ID, it says like a flames icon or something like that. I'm sitting far away from the monitor, so if you see any mistakes, then try to ignore that. And it's better to check out on your own, just pausing the video and read everything on your own. It's better to do that like that if I say anything wrong here. And about the Linux kernel, you get the 6.10. So let's check the version of the Linux kernel, what it is, like a 6.10, whether it's a stable version or the long-term version. So it's a stable version. As you can see, it's not in the long term, it should be the stable version. So right now the stable version is 6.11.8 and the RC version is 6.12 RC7, and it's a mainline, and other things are long term. So if you don't know what I'm talking, like a long term, stable and a mainline, just click on the releases, and here you should be getting all the information of whatever the kernel is called. Like if it's called like a stable, here is all the information about the long term. Here you should be getting the long term, about the RC or the pre-patch, and about the mainline. Here is all the description of whatever the kernel is called, and about the LTS versions, here is like a release date and end of life. In order to get the kernel information, you can use the command which is uname-r neofetch inxi. If it's not pre-installed, you can install the inxi and pre-installed. So here you should be seeing all the information, and let me close the kernel information because it's a stable version. And what else we have, the themes like a Deepin both the side, and the available RAM, the disk space, the Firefox browser information like a picture-in-picture and every other information, so which is clearly not important for the video, so I'm just going to skip those parts. But if anything is more important, you can just pause the video and read everything. And here is like a Mesa LLVM pipe. When you scroll it down, you should be also seeing here the version of a Mesa is 24.2.4. I think this is the latest version. And the window protocol X11, the Deepin desktop environment, and the Mesa and LLVM pipe, my monitor, present monitor resolution. These are all some other things which is important for some users, but it's not important for some other users. So it's clearly their perspective. So these are all the information. And about the website, let's go and get all the information here. So if you have any questions, here you can contact them. And this is all you get from the official website. Getting started. So here you can get the download files. So it's always better to go download from the well-known mirrors instead of some random mirrors. And also check some all the other files. And in installation tutorial, here you can click on the installation tutorial. So it's a Calamares installer, so you already know how to install, but if you want some information, here you can get all the information. So you can download, you can do whatever you want. So install GXDE on Android phones, iPads. So it says like a pads, I don't know what pads it's called. So it's not an iPad, but it's called like some pads with a tiny computer, kind of like a Raspberry, I think, or maybe some other computers. And here you should be getting other things. And let's go with the feature programs. Here you can see the Deepin Cloud Scan. I don't know who is using that, but here you should be getting some other information. And here is how to use those things. So if you're a normal user, if you are a person who don't live in the China or something like that, it's better to don't do all those things. Just write the distribution in the virtual machines. And if you got all the information without any privacy issues, then go with the installation, or else it's better to skip those type of distributions. So get all the information on your own, do all the research. If you're satisfied, then go with the installation. And about the downloading, I choose the SourceForge instead of some random mirrors here. It says like a China mainline mirror, but I choose the SourceForge because I always find ISO files from the SourceForge, which is usually I make videos from this which I download from these sites about the Linux projects or anything like that. So I go with the SourceForge, and the latest version we are using is the 15.14.1, but they recommend the 15.13.0.2 version. So I choose the latest version, and also I'm using the latest version. So here it has like a ARM64 and everything, so I'm going with the AMD 64. And here you should be seeing the ISO file, which is around like a 3.4 GB. Just click on the download, and also the download will take a bit of time. I don't know why it took a lot of time, but you can click on the problems downloading. If you have any mirrors, if they provided any available mirrors, you should be getting those mirrors. If they have like just a San Francisco mirror, then you should be getting slow downloads. So choose the VPN server to the United States. Maybe it's going to speed up some speed. You should be getting some download speed with a bit more speed there. So I'm just going to close these things. So that's how you download. And these are all the information you get when you go to the home. These are all the things you get, like a display and everything. So these are all the basic things you get. and it's basically Deepin Linux distribution. And here you can install, and it's kind of like a different things, like settings will open on the right side, so kind of like a notification thing, so that's a good thing. So like this, when you click on settings, here you should be seeing some settings option. So I really like this option. Other than that, I don't have any information, so it's better to do all the research on your own. And about the other things, let's find some other things. So here is like a multilingual terminal. So I'm going to open the terminal. I'm going to see some commands. So inxi and neofetch is not pre-installed, so let me show you that. inxi, so it says maybe something, I think it says like a command not found in Chinese language. Let's try the neofetch. Let's click on enter, same thing. So I'm going to install the neofetch and inxi, and then I'm going to continue from there. So I installed every like a neofetch and inxi, so now I'm going to continue with it again. So let me open the multilingual terminal. So let's type in neofetch. Let's click on enter. So while I was downloading all those things, so some random applications downloaded in the background, I don't know what it is. So it's kind of like this wallpaper or some application, and also some other application. So maybe we can see that in the notification. So we need to find the notification options, and you should be getting all the information there. So this is all the kind of like a Windows 7 look. So it's not clearly Windows 7 look, but kind of like a same thing. Instead of on the left side, you should be getting the same like a Deepin desktop environment, because of Deepin desktop environment, same like a Deepin Linux distro. So it's been like I didn't properly slept, so that's the reason I don't know what I'm talking. So let's continue with the video. So the GXDE OS 15.14.1, and I'm running it on the VMware, and the kernel which I already showed you, and uptime is almost 19 minutes, and packages 2150 dpkg, and shell bash version 5.2.15. So the display resolution 1920 x 1080, and desktop environment Deepin 15.14.1, and window manager is Kevin, icons Deepin, terminal, my CPU, and RAM, it's consuming like a 1.6 GB. So here you can see I opened another terminal. So here you should be seeing all the information. In the multilingual terminal, it doesn't properly show the system information. So it shows like almost from here, like memory, devices, and everything. So I want all this important information to show you. So let's go with the system first. Host, it says like a GXDE OS, and the kernel version, it's a 64-bit. Compiler GCC version you get is 12.2.0. And what else we have? The desktop is called like a Deepin, version is 15.14.1. Qt version is not available. And here is like a Kevin information, like a 5.24.3 with the DDE doc, and LightDM version is 1.26.0. and distro, it says like a GXDE 15.14.1 bookworm. So it's Debian 12 based bookworm, I guess. And about the machine, here is like a VMware information, which is clearly unnecessary for the video. And the memory, I'm using 8 GB of RAM. The available RAM is 7.7 GB. It's using like a 2 GB almost. And let's scroll it, every other unnecessary information. So here is my CPU, and here is like a flags vulnerabilities, which is clearly unnecessary for the video. And about the graphics, you get the VMWGFX version is 2.20, and the display is X11. Xorg version is 1.21.1.7 with the XVLAN version 22.1.9. I'm going to show you the logout screen later. And also the live boot credentials is just type in like a live for the password, and it automatically logs you in. And about the screen resolution, my present monitor resolution is 1920 x 1080. These are all the available resolutions. EGL version is like a 1.5. OpenGL version is 4.5. Here is the Mesa version 24.2.4, which is latest. And here is some other information. LLVM and Vulkan version is 1.3.239. What else we have? Here is like a LLVM information. About the audio, here is like a ELSA. Pulse audio version is 16.1. Here is like a network, Bluetooth, repos, partitions, which is clearly unnecessary for the video. So I'm just going to skip those things. Process running right now 280. Uptime is almost 25 minutes. And also when you're using this distribution, don't try to type the anything like with a keyboard. Don't type anything fastly, because it's going to type like a multiple times, multiple or triple times. So it's better to use like a slowly if you're using it in the virtual machines. And also user experience will be completely different when compared to the virtual machines. So when you install it on the bare metal, it will be completely different when compared to the VMware. So that's the thing I'm going to mention it here. So whatever the distro is, there will be some difference, like there will be some smooth experience in the when you install it on the bare metal. And also the resources like a CPU and RAM will be also a bit lesser. So you need to understand these common things. Usually I'll be saying this type of things in the beginning, but I forgot to say all those things because of some random language when pops up. So everything goes blind. So it's not like a blind, it's completely blank in my brain when I was using this distribution, because when I saw it I thought like there will be some English language, at least some options, but everything is in Chinese language. So the system D version you get is a 254, and compiler GCC version, which I already mentioned. Shell bash version is right here, and these are all the information you get. Let's type in like a cat /etc/issue. So here you should be seeing like a Debian new Linux. So I already said in the beginning that it's based on Debian. So you can see the logo of the GXDE, as you can see. So it's combined with the Debian colors and also the Deepin logo. So that's what the logo looks like. So as you can see here, and these are all the information we get. So let's check the version of the terminal. So here is the version, and I think let's check some desktop backgrounds. I hope this is some backgrounds. It's not the background. Let's check this option. So here you should be seeing all the wallpapers and everything. So it's completely different from the Deepin, but they have like some wallpaper from the Deepin. So this is all the wallpapers you get, and I think this is like changing options, like a transition in a specific time. So if you want to customize, you can customize. So if you want to change the wallpapers, you can change the wallpapers. So I'm going to choose this one. So it's a nice wallpaper which has like a lane road highway. So I'm going to choose this option. And now let's check some other things. So these are all the other things you get, like an image viewer, something like that. So I think this is like a file manager maybe. And what else we have? So maybe this should be some wallpaper or some gaming application. I don't know what it is, but let's try to open these things. So something happened in the background. Let me open that. So the background also completely gone like a black. So as you can see, so just by opening a few applications, there was some issue there. So I'm going to open some other application like a server or something like that. And what else we have here? So you get the WPS Office, the Plank. And what else we have? Here is some other option and some basic things. So let me open the system monitor. You should be seeing like a double panel or the double plank on the bottom. And about the resources, this is how it's consuming. So if you only know the English language, so you need to install it on the virtual machines. Other than that, you can't change anything here. So if you want to try to change the keyboard, you can change it. I don't want to do anything here because I want to show everything as a default. I don't want to install anything or like that. So this is how it performed. So I'm using a good hardware resources, so it should be running properly. But if you have like a low-end PC, I don't know how it performs. And if you're trying to install this distribution, like I already said like a 3-4 times, if you're a normal user, don't go with this distribution. But if you're a Linux tester or a distro hopper, you can try this distribution in the virtual machines first. And if you're satisfied, then go with the installation for the main PC or work PC. Do all the research. Don't blindly install anything on your PC or main PC or work PC. So these are all the resources, the CPU and the network and everything. So I'm going to close this thing, and the wallpaper completely gone like a blank screen. I don't know why, and I don't know what it is. So these are all the applications you get, and here is like a file manager. So you should be seeing all the information. If you want to customize, you can customize. I don't know what it is, but I'm just going to click on some random things. So the file manager version you get is a 4.8.20. So this is all the information about the GXDE, about the installation, which I already showed you in the beginning itself. But just double click on the installer, it should be opening. And here you have like a language selection for installation. So I think I'm going to end the video here. So let me show you the logout screen, and I'm going to end the video. So sorry if I misspeak on most of the time, because I'm totally tired and also I didn't properly slept. So that's the reason there is like a lot of mistakes which usually you don't see in my videos, but in this video there are a lot of mistakes. So try to ignore those things, and you should be getting all the information and the same options, like same power options Deepin Linux. And here is the, and here you should be seeing the sessions like a light DM X session. I'm going to choose that one, and I'm going to choose the password. Use the password just like a LIVE, and it will log you in. So it's going to take a few seconds. It didn't log in. Let's click on again. So this is some issue, as you can see. It just log out your account, and that was the notification sound. And you should be again getting the same installation option in the beginning. So these are all the things you get from the GXDE. Other than that, and I'm going to end the video here. So there is literally nothing to show here. So thanks for watching. Peace out. And also, if you loved the video, give the video thumbs up, and if you want to subscribe, you can subscribe, because I'll be posting videos daily. Sometimes, most of the times I'll be posting 2 videos, but nowadays there is no topic, so that's the reason I'm just making a single video. And that's it. Thanks for watching. Peace out.